All right, guys, I'll be brief, and if you know me, you know I'm lying. So, anyway, it is an honor to be recognized by the club, along with a lot of other Lions this year. And first thing I want to ask is, what do the Reader's Digest, Time Magazine, the BBC, Stouffer's Fast Food, State Farm, Jaguar Car Manufacturing, Yankee Stadium, and the Rose Bowl all have in common? This ought to be a layup. Those are things that have also been around for 100 years. So I would tell you it's quite a milestone for this club to have reached our 100th anniversary. And spotlight's on me. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. Grew up in Montgomery, went to public schools, graduated from Auburn, and I began a career that spans more industries than years. I worked for Russell Athletic until NAFTA passed, and I started there because it paid $1,500 a month more than going to work in a bank, which is where my parents worked. So once the apparel industry was out, I came back to Montgomery and networked through some of my parents' friends, and I began about a 15-year banking career. I took a 2-year break from that to run a nonprofit at Buckmasters. Went back to the bank, got an opportunity to go run an investment advisory firm for a friend in Mobile who owned a 401k administration company. The problem with working for friends is they don't always tell you when they're in bad financial shape, and somebody shows up to buy the company, and a guy that's doing what I did has been doing it for 20 years in a company that's 4 times as big. So here I come back to Montgomery. Through my banking relationships, I had a friend in the heavy equipment business, and he hired me to run the office and sell things to people that just walked up or drove up to the store. And after about a year and a half, he said, "Andy, I got to talk to you." And I thought, well, I'm about to be looking for a job again, so what am I going to do next? But he said, "I'd rather have you sell because that's where your talents are." So he gave me a truck and a gas card, and I covered Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi, and the Panhandle of Florida for about a year and a half. In the meantime, I had a good friend that worked for Tractor and Equipment Company, and he found out that I was in the equipment business, and they were going to make a change here. So in 2017, I went to work for Tractor and Equipment Company. We're the Komatsu dealer for Alabama, Georgia, and the Panhandle of Florida, and we're the #1 Komatsu dealer in the United States, not in the Southeast, in the United States. So we're proud to be here. The store I run's about a $16 million a year entity within that company. And if I'd have known it was this much fun, I'd have been doing it since I got out of college, I can tell you that. So anyway, sometimes we get lucky and find out where we're at. But how did I get here today? 2005, when I was looking for a job again, I'd been going to church at St. James, and Guy Davis became a good friend. The guy said, "I don't know what you're good at, but I'm going to hire you and we'll figure it out." So went to work for Bank Trust, and one Friday, maybe a couple of weeks after I started, he said, "Let's go riding. I'm going to take you to lunch." So we came to Lions Club, and whenever they introduced the visitors, he said, "This is my guest, Andy Huggins, and he'll be joining the Lions Club here directly." So anyway, it really wasn't a choice, and I'm glad he made that for me. So I was a member, took the job in Mobile I spoke of, and had a break from the Lions Club, and didn't think that I'd ever get back in. So you can thank Guy Davis and Mitchell Dabina, because Mitchell called and recruited me back to run the deer hunt. And so I did that 1 year and decided I missed the Lions, and I came back on as a member. And since then have served on the board. I'm a past president and was very honored to lead the club in that capacity. But it's something that I've noticed. Everybody that's in this club seems to have an affiliation outside the club. And membership is the lifeblood of any organization. And And when I first started, there were twice this many people at lunch in a room twice this big. And I don't know why it stopped. But I do know that as I look at my Trinity Presbyterian Church family, I see a lot of faces in there on Sunday that I see in here. Jackson Thornton, for example, the Judicial Committee, the clergy in Montgomery. And what I want to challenge everybody to do today is to find somebody like yourself, or find somebody with an affiliation that you enjoy spending time with, and invite them to the club. Because there's something about this club that's not sticky enough in and of itself. Now, the charities we serve are awesome. My heart is in the deer hunt, because I can't give somebody $50,000 of my own money, but I can work my rear end off along with a lot of other people for a weekend, and we can do that. And we can support Lions Sight, and we can support Lions International, and we can support some local charities. But the more influence and more reach we create in Montgomery, that's the only way we're going to be able to stay viable as a club. Because, as I said, first place we ate lunch was twice as big with twice as many people. What I've seen happening is the expense as a budget item keeps going up. Number of people available to support that is going down. So we get in a smaller space and a smaller space. It ought to be everybody's objective to go and recruit one person and double this again, and let's find a bigger place to have lunch. The other thing is, I think as we are able to draw new people, and I see a lot of new faces in the room that hadn't been here since I've been here in 2005. You got to find something to dig into and get involved with, because there's sign-up sheets on the table, and they come back and they don't have many more names than the people that regularly participate. Find something that you can get engaged in. And if it's in support of the chili cook-off, or the Lions Club hunt, or if we have a Hope Floats again, find something to be a part of and meet some more of the fellow Lions that are in here. You know, when I run the deer hunt, Amy's in charge. I do what Amy tells me to do, and normally that works pretty well. If you are a landowner, I'd like to recognize you, or a guide. Please raise your hand. These are great guys. They are key. Just give them a hand. But Amy and I could sign up 100 people to hunt. We don't have 100 places to put them. And after the 10th or 11th hunter we sign up, everything else goes straight to the bottom line as profit. Because we've narrowed down our cost, and I do a pretty good job of procuring stuff for the hunters and the hunt and the raffle and all that. But we're only limited by our ability to engage other people to help host people. So find an event that you like, and find a way to dig in, even if all that is coming by, for instance, the lunch or the kickoff for the Lions Club, or dinner that night, or we're trying to get everybody to get involved by buying raffle tickets just to support the underwriting of some of the expenses. But that's what I would encourage all of us to do. Replace yourself every year so that we don't lose any more people. And let's be conscious of our social network. Find somebody that's got some similar affiliations that you think has a heart for something like the Lions Club, because community service and paying your civic dues is not what it used to be. And these guys at this back table have been doing it for years and years and years, and there's something in them that keeps them coming back. But we got to find that in the younger crowd and make that happen too. This morning when I was doing my devotion in Romans, it talked about service. So I guess the last thing I would say is that's really why I'm in a civic club, because I like to serve. That's why I've gotten up and cooked men's breakfasts in about 3 or 4 different churches, over my lifetime in Montgomery. But what I want to talk about is the dash. Who knows what the dash is? The number that starts on your tombstone, and there's a number that ends it. And in the middle is a dash. And what I want us to all think about is what happens in that dash. For me, I don't think there would be any greater honor than for my wife to put "he served" in between those two dashes. So we're here as a service organization. I've been honored by the club with a Melvin Jones Fellow Award. I didn't deserve it, but I'm proud of it. I'm proud to have it. I'm proud to be a membership of this group. I'm proud to represent you in the community. I'm proud to do all the work that I do in support of our fundraisers. But we need to develop some new leadership for our programs, because guess what? I'll be 58 this year. 60 is bon voyage on running the deer hunt. Now, I'll still go run the skinning shed because I like doing that. But we've got to find some people to step up in these leadership roles. And that's probably on me. We'll find somebody like me, younger than me, that will pay their dues and be a part of that. So I thank you again for the opportunity to address you on our 100th anniversary and the honor of being selected as one of the Spotlight Lines. If there's anything I can do for you, please let me know, and thank you.